Hi again. This is Carla. This is the Year 3 retrospective. I'll start by connecting one of the puzzle pieces of a story that I shared in yesterday's video. So in January of 2022, I signed up for a starseed activation course by my dear friend Flo. And the very first module was on Lyra. During that meditation, I had this very clear and vivid image of a female galactic being with very unique features. She had light olive eyes, and I'd never seen anything like that before. But what also struck me was the feeling of knowing her in a, I guess, a profound way. She had this very nice and familiar smile in the way she was looking at me. I even ended up sketching it. I shared that in one of my Instagram posts a while back, but also it didn't dawn on me until much, much later. I happened to be flipping through my notebook where I had written down that dream the night before that angel course that I took. And I realized as I stumbled on that entry how my description of the person or the guide that I met in my dream matched my image of this being that I met in this Lyra meditation. About a couple months after that, I ended up channeling her, and her name is Edra. She is an aspect of my oversoul. At the time, I was calling her my oversoul, but I've since learned she's just a fractal of that, because as if you're familiar with the concept of the oversoul, you know how vast that is. So I think it's more vast than what we can comprehend as humans. So anyway, she's been a wonderful guide. Months later, I had a channeled artwork created for me by Jennifer Hawkyard, who does a lot of Kyle Gray's Oracle deck artwork. And Edra and another guide came through in that channeling. So that's the puzzle piece that is part of many other puzzle pieces that connect. So I wanted to share that. The next thing I'll share about 2022 is that is when I launched my Dragon Energy course for the first time. I started creating that course in 2021. And honestly, I didn't feel qualified to even create the course because I felt that I had just started connecting with the dragons in 2020. But my dragon guides were pretty insistent that I created. So with the guidance, I just, again, took another leap of faith, trusted in my guides, and started creating the course. It began as a 2-day course, evolved into a 3-day course and a 4-day course. It's now an on-demand virtual course that still includes all the activations, but I follow where my energy goes, and I had reached that point where teaching it live didn't feel aligned, or I needed to shift. And looking back now, I can see that it's because of needing to redirect my work to a more in-depth dragon consciousness program, which I launched the following year. 2022 is also the year that I first started vocal channeling, and it's the first time I started channeling the dragons, which was an interesting process in itself, which has changed over the years. It's evolved, as well as my channeling in general. This is also the year I believe I started speaking light language. I had been seeing light language codes in my visions from the previous year, but I started seeing more, and I also took a light language course with one of my mentors in 2022. And in August of 2022, I opened my healing studio in Oakland, California. And the way that all transpired was also very divinely guided. I took over the lease from Kaya at Blue Lotus Oracles. She is the QHHT practitioner from whom I received my very first quantum healing hypnosis sessions. I've had 2 with her, which were also very instrumental. And the timing of how that transpired with those sessions the puzzle pieces that they provided that later connected with other things that came through in my channeling group with Queenie and Ryan. It just amazes me how, when you really pause and take stock of all the signs that are given to us, it's just beautiful how things unfold always for our highest good. So we just need to trust that. On the 1111 portal was the very first public channeling event that I participated in, collaborated with Queenie, Ryan, JJ, and Monica, if you guys know them. But this was in LA, and it was the first time we did this in public. So that was a big deal. The funny thing also about that is the after effects that we experienced. I think it's the first time we realized and felt what we called a spiritual hangover was. We were so, I don't know, it felt like we got hit by a truck. And I remember being so swollen. And I happened to have a video interview scheduled for a couple of days after I flew home. It was a video interview for my life coach, my previous life coach, and I remember trying to cover things up with makeup, but I was just so swollen. Now it's interesting because other events like my first dragon retreat, which I'll talk about tomorrow, I also experienced the same thing. It's just this, when you're bringing through so much energy, and I guess when your body's not used to it, that can be an after effect. Now, I and others in my circle have learned since then how to manage that, and it doesn't always have to be that way. So I don't have that issue as much anymore, although I've experienced it a few times since then, where I either have a really bad headache when the energy's building up in me, or I'll be really swollen, which is not a good thing for the pictures documenting these things, but whatever. So anyway, I just wanted to share that, and also to share just how interesting it's been, an interesting journey of learning along the way, as we learn more, as we expand more, and also expand our capacity to hold more energy and move that energy, and how important it is to move that through your body so that you're not accumulating the energy within you and experiencing these side effects, if you will. So I'll end there, and I will see you back tomorrow with the 4-year retrospective. We're almost there. Thank you for listening. Bye.